Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
In the 90s, we were just teeny tykes. We went to movies and our bikes. We wanted to be DJs, but we were just teeny gals. So we went off to college and we remained best pals. 20 years later, we're still watching flicks and we're bringing you the feeling bit by bit. Sweetie and Sweetie are here to say it's the Large Marge Santa's podcast. Hey, hey.
This car could be systematic, hydromatic, ultramatic. Why could be grease lightning?
So we'll get some overhead lifters and 4-bell quads, oh yeah. Keep talking, we'll keep talking. Fuel injection cut off and chrome-plated rods, oh yeah. We'll get already, I'll do get already. With the 4-speed on the floor, they were waiting at the door. You know that ain't a shit where they get licensed. Grease lightning.
Hey guys, welcome to the Large Marge Santa's podcast, your favorite podcast where two sweetie sisters talk about movies that shape their childhood. I'm Sweetie.
And I'm Sweetie.
You guys are in luck today
Why?
because we covered another musical. So, get your singing voices ready, guys.
Me.
I just want to say that the other singing one we did, the other musical, Mary Poppins, our biggest ep yet. So I think people love the musicals.
I think they want to hear us sing all the time.
Yep, pretty much. So that's what we're getting from you guys. If it's not true, give us a shout. Or don't. Actually, don't. Don't ruin our dreams.
Just shut up. Keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself. So I think this, for sure, with Mary Poppins, I wrote down Annie and this as being like a big movie, a big musical movie.
Okay.
That just like were my first musicals and ones that I was like, musicals are fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
We should probably tell them
What it is. That would work for a start.
the movie we're covering today is
Grease. Is the word, is the word, is the word. Good times.
Grease is the time, is the place, it's emotion. Grease is the blood.
lucky brother.
Only I learned this today that theme song, the initial, it was created just for the movie by Barry Gibb, everyone's favorite BJ, depending on your favorite BJ. BG. BG.
I was like, is this a new nickname? Oh, man.
I didn't even know I did it until you looked at me so funny, and I was like, oh no.
BJs. You know those BJs.
What was the other Gibb? Barry and
Andy, Gibby.
God. Is there just two
No,
Gibbs?
there's
or are there
another
three?
one. There's a lot of Gibbs.
No,
Robin Gibb.
Three Gibbs?
I don't know if he's in the.
I think
There's only three in the Bee
Gibbs.
Gees.
Yeah,
but
Robin,
there was another.
Andy and Barry. Yeah,
But there was another one who is not in the Bee Gees who also had a music career.
Staying alive.
It's confusing, and I get it wrong every time.
Yeah, but I didn't know. So Frankie Valli sings that song. Who's Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons?
Oh my God, there's a Maurice Gibb.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's Maurice, Robin, and
Yes.
Barry, and Andy had his own shindig.
But yeah, and like
But we're not here to talk about the Bee Gees.
No, we're not. Saturday Night Live came out right before this too, so this was like
Saturday Night Fever.
oh my God, I'm a fucking mess.
Okay, to preface this episode, we did a rousing dance
So
number
hot.
in this cramped, tiny hallway of Sweetie's apartment, and we're both very hot and jazzed up, and I think it's working for the
My
worst.
Danny Zuko leather pants are sticking to me.
Take them
I'm never
off.
able to get them off.
Change. We can do a commercial break. We'll change.
Anyway, you guys, we did Grease tonight. So pumped.
It's the word. When was this movie released?
1978.
Whoa.
So it's an oldie for us. But one of those things, which I said I thought was kind of weird. It's like an old movie about an even older time.
Yeah, which was confusing as a child.
As a child, the most confusing.
You were like, this movie is from the 50s.
Right.
But it wasn't. I was very confused about actors and
I
their
think
ages.
I thought it was filmed in the 50s.
Me too.
I thought it was like a current movie for that time, not a movie filmed 20 years later.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, exactly. Total Sweetie confusion. Didn't get it.
But I always get confused about that. I had a really hard time figuring out like past when I was little. Like,
of course.
It was just a very odd concept.
You've only been on the planet for like 6 years. You're not going to be like, what is with this decade?
They should teach that in school and not calculus. I'm just saying.
No.
It's probably more useful.
But yeah, this movie was like always on TV. I feel like that was like a big one. And I don't know. I guess like I don't know if we saw this like prior to Look Who's Talking, John Travolta. Like I can't remember like where this like fit
I don't know.
into like our scope of like what we knew about John Travolta.
Good question.
Don't know. But just like grew up with these songs, love them to bits, know all of them. Thought this was the funniest movie ever. Didn't get almost any of the sexual innuendos, as I'm sure we'll go into great depth about.
Sweetie Confusion's just the whole movie.
Oh my God. This is sexual innuendo city, this movie.
Yep.
I mean, forget the title Grease. It should just be called I'm Confused.
Good one. Yeah.
But yeah, so good. Are you excited to talk about it?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Cool. Yep.
Grease is the word.
So, we'll start, as we always do,
As always.
with the
Sweetie synopsis. Yeah.
Sweeties is the word.
Shake those tits for old Rydell.
That's very inappropriate. Sandy Olsen and Danny Zuko are summer lovers that have found each other at the beach in California, which we always thought was Australia when we were little, which doesn't make sense because they don't talk about that at all. I don't know why we thought that. I thought Danny was vacationing in Australia with his family.
Yeah,
and my question is going to be, why does Danny's family have so much fucking money?
Right.
And now that's all. Forget it. It's somewhere in California.
Well, I think let's imagine that maybe her dad is like in the army or something. I don't know, and has to travel for business, right? So he like moves his kid everywhere. I have a feeling she's like some army brat or something. I don't know. Does that exist in Australia?
I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm an army brat too, obviously.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Anyways, so they're summer lovers on the beach. They have a summer romance. And then they part ways as Sandy has to go back to Australia. Now, the school year is starting, and the T-Birds and the Pink Ladies are starting their senior year of high school at Rydell High. They are both kind of pseudo gangs. The T-Birds definitely tend to want to engage in gang-like activity, but unsure of whether they're serious or not, as Kaniki pulls out a switchblade, but Putsy's got a water gun.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And
bringing
also,
a water gun
like,
to
question about the T-Birds. It just seems uneven. Because you have two really cool dudes, and then you have basically the Three Stooges as their friends. Like, why are they friends? Like,
I don't think they were a serious
How
gang.
did how did you become a T-Bird?
Right. Was there an initiation?
No.
Or were they just always friends?
Yeah.
They wanted to be a club? Like, what
Well,
was
they're
the
always
deal?
friends. Remember, they meet in the beginning of school, and they're like, hey, how was your summer? You didn't see them for the entire summer?
Maybe
Danny was
that's-
like, I was at the beach. Who were you hanging around with?
Sandy.
Every day?
Maybe that's not how things worked in the 50s.
Yeah,
I don't know.
we don't know. We don't know.
Can't judge.
It's a whole different
Anyway,
world.
so we've got 4 T-Birds and 4 Pink Ladies. So we've got Danny Zuko,
Coupled up.
the ringleader. Kaniki. What's his first name? Don't know. Is Kaniki's first name? I hope not.
We might have to look into this because we said last time on the podcast we did Inner Space that Maverick's name in Top Gun is just Maverick.
Well, that's because we were going
and
by
someone told us that his name, there's actually a real name for him.
Ryan, who knows everything.
Yeah.
You were just looking at the IMDb, so I don't know if that was like. I mean, we're not going by. Like,
I want to say his name's Greg Kinnicky, but maybe I'm thinking that's the actor's name. Greg?
No, his name's Jeff
Damn.
Conway. It just says Kinnicky. IMDb is the least helpful thing in the world.
He
It's
looks
only
like
got
a
the
Greg.
nicknames.
Let's say his name's Greg Kinnicky.
Okay, Greg Kinnicky. We've also got Duty, Sonny,
Doug Duty.
and what's Sonny's first name?
Sonny Sunnerson.
What's Sonny
Sonny's
short
his first
for?
name. Sonny's his first name, I think.
But it's short for like
Charles.
And then Putsy. Putsy Putsterson. The Pink Ladies.
Keep it easy.
Pink Ladies, Rizzo.
Whose real name is... Ooh, she said it and I forgot.
She does?
So when she's hooking up with Kaneki, she's like, say my real name. Call me by my real... Betty. Her real name is Betty.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't seem like a Betty. Rizzo, Marty, Jan, and Frenchie. So as the movie begins, Frenchie has kind of found Sandy and their friends. I don't know how they met. Unexplained. Frenchie introduces Sandy to the Pink Ladies, and they're all kind of like weird to her because she seems very goody two shoes, and she doesn't seem like the Pink Lady brand. So they're kind of like, I don't really want you to be in our
group. They have a right to be wary.
However, she tells them about her summer, as does Danny, and she mentions that the boy she met's name is Danny Zuko. And of course, the Pink Ladies all laugh because they know Danny Zuko. What are the odds? What are the odds that of all the schools in California, Sandy would come to Danny's? Like,
It was meant to be.
Crazy. Anyways, so later at a pep rally, the Pink Ladies throw Sandy at Danny and are like, "Look, Danny." And Danny's all excited at first, and they have this like nice reunion. But then he looks at his friends who are like, "What the fuck? Why are you being like dumb?" And then he goes into his like super T-Bird, "I'm so cool, too cool to be nice" routine. So Sandy's very upset, and she runs away crying.
That scene is so crazy because he like immediately is like, when he says hi to her, like, "Sandy, oh my God," it's like a different person. He just does seem like very polished and, you know, just
Who's the
different.
real Danny? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, well, that's what she says. "You're a fake, you're a phony, and I wish I never met you."
But obviously, this whole persona that they have, I don't think it's genuine.
For both of them?
No, for Danny.
Oh,
for like
yeah.
being a T-Bird, like.
No, well, that's the thing. I mean, we'll go on here, but he really liked her and would change for her.
God damn it, Danny. Anyways, next.
So they meet at that pep rally, and like Sandy's pissed, she cries, but gets over it pretty well. I mean, she's like, "Oh, he was so nice to me this summer." I mean, I think everyone's met a guy like that who's just like nice to you at first and then kind of changed on you. Whatever. It happens, ladies. So Frenchie's like, "Come, like, we're gonna have a sleepover party." So they have like a sleepover party, and they kind of try to corrupt her, right? So they like try to pierce her ears. They make her take a drink and smoke, and she's just like not about that. It's not that like she looks down on them and all. Like, that's the cool thing about Sandy, is that I don't think she thinks like, "Oh, those like crazy girls." It's just like not for her, those kind of things, right? Mm-hmm. So then the boys show up, and Rizzo shimmies down the drain pipe and goes off with Kaneki. And like the Rizzo situation is sketch because she used to hook up with Danny, but like nothing is said about it. And they have this like sort of like unspoken, like, "No, I won't hook up with you sloppy seconds." And like people mention to her like, "Danny's looking good this year." So like, I don't know if she used to date him like last year or what. Anyway, she's looking for a good time. So she like runs off with Kaneki. Sandy sings a sad song, blah, blah, blah. And then how did then they get reconciled?
And Danny sees her at the diner with Tom.
At the diner. So she started dating the kind of bonehead captain of the football team, Tom. And he gets really jealous and kind of talks to her for a little bit at the diner, and they're drinking milkshakes, right? And and then she's like, "Oh, like Tom's great because he's like the sports guy and whatever. Like, you don't have any ambition or whatever." So that means to Danny, like, "Okay, I gotta like get some hobbies here. I can't just be a T-Bird and like wear a leather jacket and look cool. I'm gonna try sports." So there's this amazing montage of him trying like literally every sport that the school has to offer. So good.
Which is weird that they're all at the same time. Like, is this in season? I'm not sure.
Maybe because this timeline, like you said, was like kind of wonky. Maybe it was like through the different sports seasons.
He tried all of those sports during the year? God.
Because what was it? Basketball?
Baseball.
Wrestling.
Track.
Okay. Well, so he just likes to fight everybody when he does sports.
What I want to know is, why didn't he have him try football if he likes contact so much?
That's true. Well, maybe he missed it because by that time football was over because of the seasons.
But wasn't Tom like, I don't know. Who knows?
Because wasn't it basketball? It was basketball, which is winter. Wrestling, which is winter.
But Tom wasn't on the basketball team. I thought he was like in the bleachers with his football helmet on or something. I don't know. Anyways, so it's California, so you never freaking know what season it is.
Maybe it's weird.
Yeah. So anyways, so he tries to impress her by doing that. Sandy thinks it's kind of funny, and then she's like, "Oh, like, I forgive you." And then they go on a real date to the diner.
And then they're together.
So then they end up going to the National Bandstand dance-off at the school, which is like supposed to be like American Bandstand, where they film dances at schools and there were contests. I don't know. It's before my time. Right?
Well, I think American Bandstand had like a studio, but they just had like different bands come in or singers, and then they'd just be teenagers dancing to the music.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Danny and Sandy go to that. They are about to win the dance off, and then for some reason, Sunny steals Sandy away and like marches her off, and then this gives Cha-Cha, the local slut from the other school, the opportunity to
Saint
seize
Bernadette's.
Danny, the best dancer at St. Bernadette's, and then they end up winning the dance contest, which is like a total what the fuck?
She
pissed.
doesn't even go here.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like the teacher should have been like, wait, she wasn't his partner. That doesn't make sense. Like, they
She
did all
wasn't
that
even
work.
that good of a dancer.
No,
Please.
she just had a
She was
frilly
just
skirt.
slutty. Yeah, she's just slutty.
Dumb. Anyways, so Sandy's all upset, and then at the drive-in, she's kind of getting him the cold shoulder, and she's upset because she thinks that Danny and this Cha-Cha had a history, because Sandy is old-fashioned, I guess, and doesn't want Danny to have had sexual things with other people.
relationships, yeah.
Whatever. It was the 50s. So
Newsflash: he slept with Rizzo. Sorry.
I know there's a lot of people who slept with Sandy, so like, wake up. So Danny, in an effort to try to get a lay out of Sandy, gives her his ring. He's like, "Here's this ring. Now we're something." So she's all excited, and then Danny's like, "All right, time to grab the tit." He goes like right in for that tit, and she gets so upset, and then storms out of the car, and that's it. It's done. I'm done.
I'm gonna hook up with you in this sin wagon. Take this piece of tin.
So all the while throughout the movie, Kaneki gets a car and wants to race it at Thunder Alley, which is this like bullshit race course.
Thunder Road.
Thunder Road is this bullshit race course where two people like race cars wherever. It doesn't seem like there's a track or a course in mind. It seems like you just drive and try to like beat each other's car up, but
Yeah.
Danny's not trying to beat up that car. I don't know. Anyways, so Kaneki is getting ready to do this race, and then there's like a coin dropped, and the door hits him in the face, and he's out cold. So Danny has to drive for him against Craterface, this opposing gang member who's very
Of
mean.
the Scorpions.
Of the Scorpions.
Much better name than
Totally
the
better.
T-Birds.
Yeah, he has like a dope ass car with flames that shoot out of like the exhaust and these spikes on the
Spikes
hubcaps.
that come out of the wheels.
It's just
and tear up other cars.
yeah. So they're
That's a lot
doing
of
this
thought put
race,
into that.
and he's like tearing up Kaneki's car, which Danny's driving, and then there's like this whole thing, and they like go up on this big slant. It's very stressful, but weird because I don't understand
Real nail biter.
who is judging this contest and what is the purpose. Anyways, so Danny ends up winning. Hooray, hooray, everybody's happy. And then Sandy's like off in the distance, like, oh, I know what I should do. And then has this idea in her head that she asks Frenchie to help with. So then it's the last day of school. There's this graduation carnival, whatever. And Danny shows up in his cool new Letterman sweater, which he received from running track.
Right, which he says he like did for Sandy because he wants to be this like straight up person for her.
Right. So then all of a sudden, this hot bod like strolls up, and it's Sandy, and she's had a total makeover. Is wearing these skin tight, like leather pants, black off the shoulder number, hot what looked like candy shoes, which didn't exist.
those candy
Yeah,
shoes.
but they didn't exist in the 50s, but they looked like that. And her hair is all crazy. She's got makeup on, and she's smoking a cig, people. Smoking a cig. And he's like, what the fuck is happening?
It's like, fuck this Letterman coat.
Yeah, I don't need this. So Sandy has decided that the only way she and Danny can be happy is if she changes her entire being and transfers to like a crazy slut. So even though Sandy was like goody two shoes the whole movie, she really picks up this slutty motif totally
Yeah.
quickly.
Which means to me it was in her all along. So while I agree that the message is horrible, do not change for anyone that you want to date. They need to like you for you And Danny always did. It wasn't like he ever asked her to change. So it's like,
I know.
It was her idea.
Maybe she just felt like something was missing.
But I also think she was like kind of behind the times because you had these people sort of in this tail end of the 50s, let's say, moving towards rock and roll and like all that stuff. And that like kind of led its way into the 60s, right? And then what happened with our sort of like music and hippies and whatever.
Yeah.
So like it was moving towards that. So that's why I feel like it was in her. And she was like, okay, like I kind of think this would be funner because she saw all of them celebrating and I think was kind of like, I want to be in that group. Like I think like I want to be like them.
Sure. I mean, who doesn't want to be like a hot slut? I don't know.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, makeover endings are like my favorite fucking thing in the whole world. It got chills when she comes out and it's like everyone's like, woo!
You got chills, they're multiplying.
I got chills. And like everyone's like when she's like, tell me about it,
stud.
stud.
She wants those shoes on her
I
feet.
just love makeover shows. I do like makeover shows, but movies, like...
And it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good makeover.
And she looks great. She looked great anyway. She's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
But she looks like smoking.
Yeah. I mean, like,
and she just reduces Danny to, like, a puddle, which is what every girl wants.
Right. And I wrote down, like, is there anything better than hot, slutty Sandy? Right. I don't think so.
Oh, my God.
I really don't. I don't think so. So, anyway, so they get together. It's all happy. Everybody's happy at the end. And then Sandy and Danny fly off into a car into the sunset. Strange ending. Yeah. And that's the flick.
That's the flick.
So we were thinking, just like we did for Mary Poppins, we'll go through quickly and sing a couple bars of each song, alternating. And then we'll do that. We'll do it.
I definitely missed a few because look at my list compared to yours.
Oh, shit.
I know. I was like, oh my God, I missed Grease Lightning.
You missed Grease Lightning?
That's crazy.
All right, we'll have to go
We'll
off
use your
my
list.
list. All right. I'll start. So I
Put
included
it in the middle here because I can't see.
I included the opening Andy Gibbs song. Right? Andy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Barry
Gibbs wrote
Barry
it.
Gibbs song.
But sung by Frankie Valli, so not a
sung
Gibb.
by Frankie Valli. So it's Grease is the word. You got I just want to preface this sing along by saying that I know very little words from these songs, and it's because I just don't understand the I don't get them. Like there's not a lot of enunciation here. I think people could use a little better enunciation. I mean, I really we'll have a segment later.
Case of the mumbles.
Yeah, we'll have a segment later where we tell each other what we thought a line was.
Totally.
And then we'll say the real line, and it'll be great fun, but no idea what those words were. So, anyways, sweetie, you're up.
All right. I don't know which part to start. Summer lovin' had me a blast.
Summer loving happened so fast.
I met a girl crazy for me.
Met a boy. I thought I was doing the boy part.
Just go. Read Sandy.
Met a boy, cute as can be.
Summer days drifting away till other summer nights. Oh well, oh well, oh well, oh. Tell me more, did you get very far?
Tell me more, like does he have a car? So yeah, it's all that. It's back and forth, and they're in separate locations. So.
I just want to say that my favorite part of that song is the ending.
Yeah.
So it goes, summer dreams ripped at the seams. Oh. Those summer nights. Tell me more, tell me I want to say that. So this Grease Lightning and You're the One That I Want were in the Grease Mega Mix that came out in, don't worry, I wait for it, 1998.
Yes. And
they played it in all the dances.
Dance.
So those songs are like the ones we know. I feel like I know the best.
Yeah. Great. It's it's a great one. Yeah.
All right. Number 3.
Number 3. Look at me, I'm Sandra D, lousy with virginity. Won't go to bed till I'm legally wed. I can't, I'm Sandra D. Good song. That's our favorite song.
Good.
Right? Yeah, it's your favorite too. Yeah, it's just, I always used to sing that in the shower. Just went for it. You know, it's super fun. It's quick. It's like in an easy to sing range, I guess. I like it. So that's Rizzo making fun of Sandy while she's in the bathroom throwing up because she saw blood after Frenchie probably pierced her ears very poorly as she flunks out of beauty school shortly after. So don't trust her to do anything, even though Sandy trusts her with her makeover at the end. And Frenchie does a good job. So Frenchie, back to beauty school, I think.
Yeah.
Which she does not do because in Grease 2, she goes back to high school. So forget it.
I don't drink, swear, wrap my hair. I get ill from one cigarette.
Okay. Oh, I was moving on. All right. Now it's your turn. You get to do one of our favorites.
Oh, God. There's nowhere to hide when you push my love aside. I'm out of my head, hopelessly devoted to you.
Wow. Not bad. Yep. So that's Sandy singing by the kiddie pool. She had written a note to Danny and then is like, I'm going to drown this in the kiddie pool. It's so dumb. I hate it so much. We do not like that song. Okay. Next. Well, this car is automatic. Hydromatic. Is there another one? Systematic. What's greasy lightning? Boom, 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 boom. Go grease lightning. You're burning up the blah, blah, blah. Grease lightning. Go grease lightning. Go grease lightning. See? Don't know the words.
Wait. The Chixel Cream. That's the part that always freaks me out.
There's a lot of gross lines.
Something, it's extreme. The Chixel Cream. I'll grease lightning, 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 lightning.
So that's a good one. Okay, you're next.
Beauty school dropout.
Beauty school dropout.
No graduation day for you. Beauty school dropout.
Beauty school dropout.
Da na 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 na. I'm just singing the part that my favorite part is at the end. So this is when Frenchie is kind of like rethinking that I shouldn't have dropped out of high school, and because she had just she failed tinting class as her hair is now pink. And the like nice lady at the little diner is like, maybe like you should rethink this, whatever. And Frenchie's like, I wish I had a guardian angel. So she stays at the little diner, and Frankie, what's that guy's name? Avalon? Yeah. Comes to her as a guardian angel. Apparently I wanted Elvis for that, which would have been like amazing. But he's awesome. So Frankie Avalon, he used to do all this stuff with Annette Funicello, if you remember, like Beach Party Bingo.
Pull that crap with a net?
Yeah. So it's like this all white setting, and he's this angel, and all these girls are there in like a beauty school like get up. So he's like singing to her. So my favorite line is at the end, where he goes, I called the shots, get off the pot. I really gotta fly. Gotta be going to that malt shop in the sky. Beauty school dropout. Go back to high school. Beauty school dropout. Go back to high school. And that song's funny because she's just like ragging on her the whole time. I love that part where he's like, the one that you wouldn't unless you were a hooker. You think that you're a looker, but no woman would go to you unless she was a hooker.
I also like that Rizzo and Marty are like the little are some of the Jen's there too. Yeah. I can never see her. But yeah, that's a good one. So the next one is a song at the dance, which is for the dance contest. So born to hand job, baby. Born to hand job, baby. That's a good one.
Oh yeah, Johnny Casino and the Gamblers.
Go to our Instagram at Large Marge Sent Us to catch us doing that amazing dance.
Yeah, we might have done a little rendition of a scene from the hand jive.
All right, you got all the bad songs.
Oh Jesus. Oh God, I don't even know this song at all. I just blocked it out. You do it.
Oh, Sandy.
Sandy,
this song sucks.
Yeah, this is definitely for me. Like, I mean, Hopelessly Devoted is just like a boring scene, but it's like a pretty good song. Sandy is a downer, man. That's so boring. And it's like John Travolta at the drive-in or Danny at the drive-in being like, wow, 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 wine, wine, wine.
She didn't let me touch her boob.
Yeah, my life sucks. What am I going to do about it?
Okay.
Next.
And then the next one is Rizzo's song, which I always forget about. And I forget.
so good,
It's a good
though.
song, but yeah, I think it's called There Are Worse Things I Could Do. And it's like, there are worse things I could do. Be a slut is not that bad. That's not the word. I'm paraphrasing. I could take a cold shower, which isn't that bad. It's like
That's one of the lines.
it's something like that. It's like stay inside and take
No,
cold
it's like, I could
showers.
flirt with all the guys.
I really don't think that's a worse thing she could do than get knocked up. I don't know.
Well, she's just telling about all the slutty things that she could do, but really the worst thing that she could do is because she actually likes Kaneki. So she's this like hard outside edge, right? Where she's supposed to be like slutty and like she doesn't like anybody, but she actually really likes him. So she's like really upset that like his reaction to her being pregnant. I don't know. She's kind of messed up. So she said the worst thing she could do is cry in front of him because she really likes him and just doesn't want to like lose her hard exterior. So
Wow.
she comes.
Yeah, it's a good one. All right.
Oh, do I get the Sandra D reprise? We had to look up we were saying earlier today that the reprise of many songs that we know
Are
the best. So
Beauty and the Beast one?
Beast one is so good. The
Little
Little Mermaid one
Mermaid.
is so good. And the Sandra D.
You're
even
all
though
Disney.
Sandra D is an amazing song. Like I love. So it's like, they have to give Olivia Newton-John like a couple solo numbers because she's a great singer. I mean, so she's a singer. She's a very famous singer before she did this, and then they plopped her in this movie. I really just like the end, and I was trying to remember when we were watching it today. But like, what's the part before when she's like, "Goodbye,
Sandy, you know what you must do. Hold your head high.
take a deep breath and sigh. Goodbye to Sandra D."
Good one.
So good. So it's her like just kind of thinking over kind of what we talked about of changing,
Being like, I
for
want to be a
Dan.
slut. Yeah. And then the song towards the end. You're the one that I want. Woo-hoo-hoo, honey. The one that I want. The one that I want. Woo-hoo-hoo. But my favorite part is if you feel in my direction. Or like, maybe I did it wrong.
Yeah.
So,
Just
with the power.
power of your something. Feel you.
Feel
like the
your
power.
My discretion.
Yeah. We should have brushed up on these.
We'll look it up at the end for the end segment. Feel your way. Ow! So that's that.
And last but not least, we go together like lemon, 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 ding, 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 dong. Together forever like shoo-bop, shoo-wada, yippity, boom, boom, ching, 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 bop. That's the way it should be. Oh, yeah! We're one of a kind, like
Always
dip, be together. Always Hong Kong
Going
be
in the flying
together.
Good one.
Always.
And that's it. Yeah! Woo!
job.
Thank you, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you.
I really thought we knew the lyrics more than we did, but maybe
My
we
God.
just made them up.
No, I don't know any of them. And I'm not afraid to admit it. Yep, so there's the songs. A lot of good ones in there, a couple stinkers. It happens in every musical, okay?
Yeah, the sinkers are really the ones they added.
Every musical there is a cheer up Charlie that you just gotta leave the room
Always.
for, or fast forward, or switch to another channel, whatever. It happens.
Yeah.
So now that we've done that, I would like to start with a rousing fan theory proposed by a few super fans of this movie, I'm assuming. So in the beginning, or in the Summer Night song, Sandy and Danny basically tell a story where Sandy swims by, gets a cramp, and then Danny has to rescue her. So the fan theory is that Sandy actually dies, and that the entire movie of Grease is like her limbo kind of thing happening, ending with her ascending to heaven in that flying car, which is exactly what it looks like. So I'm not surprised they came up with this theory, because how else are you supposed to explain why they made that choice to have the car randomly just start flying?
I think it was like metaphorically flying. I think
guess.
they were like happily ever after, so they were like flying into the clouds.
I suppose.
But
But
it is
it's a
very
funny
realistic.
theory.
They're like legit in heaven.
It's a funny theory, and it also explains how coincidental it was that she ends up at Danny's school because she wanted to
But also
see him
remember
again.
that the Summer Night song is two sides of the same story. So you hear Sandy tell it one way, which I kind of believe more, and Danny tell it another. Very exaggerated, right? So his line is, she swam by me, she got a cramp. Her line is, he swam by me. This is probably the line you don't know, right? He swam by me, got my suit damp.
Don't ruin it.
The great thing about songs is that everything rhymes. So you can kind of figure out, but sometimes not. That's not my favorite line. It's kind of dumb. But he just swam by her and got her suit damp. What did you think it was?
So the line is not. Just to be clear here, the line is not, he swam by me.
For the record, for those just listening, I have to read it. I have lost Andre to laughter. He swam by me. Got my Suli. Okay, so Sweetie thinks it is. He swam by me, got my Suli. I don't know what that means.
Me neither. It's like somebody's
Japanese tradition.
I don't know. That's why I was like, this is not a word. Everything I think that the words are not real words. So it doesn't make any sense at
That
all.
one especially is super mumbly.
She doesn't say it clearly.
Well, her accent is in there. It's
also
kind of a mess.
gross because first of all, you're in the water, so your suit's already damp. So we all know what she's talking about. And if Sandy is this goody two shoes, why would she say that line? I don't know.
Well, that's why that song is interesting, because you think Danny is maybe exaggerating, but you think maybe Sandy had a little wilder summer than she's putting on. So it's who's telling
Did they
the truth?
do it in the sand or not? That's all I wanted to know. God.
I mean, from the initial scene when they're just making out and he kind of tries to go a little bit more aggressive and she's like, Danny, don't ruin it. And he's like, Sandy, I'm just making it better. So I wonder if she gave in a little bit there. So there was a little bit making out in the sand. I think there's a wild side of Sandy, and she just,
of course,
needs someone to let it out.
Yeah, so that's the fan theory.
Well,
what would you like to talk about?
Okay, so as typical of high school movies, the actors are the oldest high schoolers ever.
But these guys are really
this
old.
especially. So I feel what was Dawson's Creek? They said those kids were 18. They were in college age by the time I film it. That's not
is
bad.
passable.
That's 30 years or whatever, right? Okay, so pretty much there was one. I think Frenchie was the youngest. She was 20. Olivia Newton-John was 23.
No, John Travolta was 23.
23.
Olivia Newton-John was actually
older?
30 or
Yeah.
something.
So most of them were in their late 20s, 30s.
Sonny is the oldest
Yes.
one, who was 33.
Yeah. And he looks it. I mean, if you think that guy is 18, you're fucking
How
kidding
old is
yourself.
Stalker Channing? She seemed old
She
too.
was late 20s, I think.
I just want to ask, what the fuck is the deal with Rizzo's
Characterization?
in the beginning
Yeah.
in the cartoon?
Yeah.
That's
Ugh.
the worst
What
thing
is
I've
it
ever
called?
seen.
Caricature.
Yeah.
Caricature.
Caricature. It's a bit. I'm not going to be able to do
You're
it.
having trouble speaking today, too. I'm so glad.
I just can't do it. There's that secret C in there that's very tricky.
I mean, I know why they cast the people in this movie, probably because they were famous people at the time, but let's maybe cast high schoolers for high school parts now. I mean, I don't know.
I'm sure now they do, but yeah, back then.
Yeah,
whatever.
back then. That always troubled me though. Even as a kid, I was like, they look
Yeah,
really-
they seem really old.
This is gonna look in high school.
I'm pretty sure this is the reason we had a confusing high school, because we were like, I think I'm supposed to look 30 years old now, and I don't.
Setting yourself up for failure, that stinks. What else? Oh yeah, the Danny Rizzo history. I would like to know a little bit more about that. As I was saying, I think they're both loose people. So they've just kind of slept around. Wasn't there an innuendo too with Patty Simcock and Danny?
There
No?
was?
Yeah.
When?
There's something.
I don't think Patty Simcox would do that.
Yeah. No, I feel like she's another
Maybe her and Tom, but I don't know.
Tom. And then I have a lot of lines I love. Also, so many references to tits in this movie that make
A lot
me
of tits.
sort of uncomfortable.
I think we should bring tits back. Like, I think it's a
You
funny
like
word.
tits?
And no, I just think it's used in comedic situations. It's hilarious. Like, he grabbed the tit. He goes for the tit. It's funny. I don't know.
Yeah. No. It was pretty funny. And like, as we said, like they didn't outright say anything, but there are like obviously very like kind of like big themes in this movie. So if you've ever seen the stage version, and we were talking about before, because our high school did it like a couple times, the stage version is raunchy and so dirty. And so, I mean, if you think that there's like, they like hid a lot of the stuff in this one, and I feel like the stage version, like they don't hide anything. And it's way dirtier. So this one, they like hide like almost everything. So like there's one part where like Rizzo's like, "Hey, Kaneki, what's up?" And he's like,
His penis.
and like the sloppy seconds comment, and then like the condom breaking. She's pregnant. Frenchie got her nickname from because she smokes like a French person, but they kid her and they're like, "That's not how you got your name."
From making out with people? It's not that dirty.
Yeah, Frenching.
It's not that dirty.
That's still your tongue.
French class.
And then Marty, who has like her virgin pin, and like, they're like, "Glad that's getting some use."
What's a virgin? Do you know what a virgin pin is?
So it would be like you like almost like a promise ring your dad would give you. So you're like you wear
Where
that
do you
pin,
pin
you're
it?
gonna like promise
You
to be a
pin
virgin,
it on
I
you
guess?
all the time?
Or is it like if someone takes your virginity, they like get your
No, that's gross. No, they wouldn't do that in the 50s. I don't know what the fuck it
What a
means.
horrible time, like nightmare. And that's why this movie is like semi-liberating, because the women are so like the pink ladies are so loose and like
I knew you were gonna
amazing.
say that.
But-
They're loose ladies.
They're loose ladies. But
Should change their names.
But the time that they lived in, obviously, like not so much, and they were expected to be this way or that, and that's why like the whole thing about Rizzo and everyone like thinks she's a slut because they find out that she's like has like a she's not married and she just got pregnant even though she isn't end up being pregnant, but I just want to say, and a bit about the Pink Ladies. I love that group. Unlike the T-Birds, which I'm like, what a mismatched friendship. Like, why would Kaneki and Danny be hanging around with like the other guys? It just like doesn't seem a match. I feel like the Pink Ladies are like a cool group. I would totally want to be friends with them, and it just seems like a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, I just hope they wouldn't be as mean to me as they were to Sandy.
Yeah.
I felt very bad for her on this rewatch.
but-
She's cool, even though she's a goody two shoe. She's like a cool
that's
goody
why
two
she didn't
shoe.
judge them.
I know, but like, cut her some slack.
But I
mean,
think
she's a
Rizzo
new
is like
kid.
is wary of new people, and she
Still
doesn't really
harboring
trust her. and-
Danny anger. Or
yeah,
whatever.
and she's insecure. Like she feels like she has to have this like hard kind of sassy edge, But at the end, like they kind of like make amends.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Okay. Question, sweetheart. Who is your favorite Pink Lady?
Duh. Rizzo.
Okay.
Couple lines to prove it.
All right. Say them.
Okay. I love when they're the first day of school and Patty Simcox comes up to them and she's like, "Don't you just love the first day of school?" And Rizzo goes, "It's the biggest thrill of my life."
Yeah, the whole scene is like just a treasure trove of great Rizzo lines.
Marty gets new glasses and she's like, "What do you think of my new glasses? Don't you think they make me look smarter?" No, you can still see your face.
Nah, you can still see your face. That's good.
I love when she like shimmies down the drain pipe, like the girls are having the sleepover.
I love her outfit when she
Oh my
does
God,
that.
so cute. And she's like, "Well, girls, like I'm out of here. I'm gonna get my kicks while I'm still young enough to get them." "What are you gonna do? Shimmy down the drain pipe?" Oh my God, I love it. And then okay, that might be my last Rizzo line, but there's just so many gems, and I will just say in general from the Sandra Dee scene, like best scene of the whole movie. I fucking love that scene so much when she's like has the blonde wig and she's like doing all the little like things to the different photos on the wall and everything. It's just brills. And the part where then so Sandy comes out at the end of that and she's like, "You making fun of me, Riz?" And her I can't even do an Australian accent. That is so bad. And I use "You making fun of me, Riz" all.
Oh, we do, yeah.
That's one of our, like, I think the most quoted line from this movie for us. So whenever, like, the other person makes fun of each other, you making fun of me, Riz? And you have to say it in, like, a really quiet voice.
Fun of me, Riz. Yeah, it's funny.
But what about you? Is yours not Rizzo?
Mine, it's not. It's actually Marty.
Ah,
And I
you
just
seem like a Marty.
I know. I feel a strong kinship with her because she's like the also hot friend who doesn't get as much attention, but still awesome. And I love all her. She has like all these boyfriends.
She's like the pretty. Remember we were talking about bee friends before? How like your friend, you have one friend who like always gets the attention of the boys, and you're cute too, but like you just don't like get as much attention. Yeah, she's the bee friend, but she's really pretty.
Yeah, and she's funny, and she has like all these like army boyfriends that she keeps in these in one of those like accordion style like wallet things that you keep like your kids' photos in. And
she doesn't
like
high
all
school
her
boys.
boyfriends. Yeah, she doesn't like high school boys, so she reminds me of Cher Horowitz. And so I think that's also why I like her. So I just like her, and I love her dress at the dance too.
I love her last. Her last name is Maraschino.
And yeah, so that was totally a sweetie confusion. I did not understand why that was like a ha-ha line, because she tells the guy like, as in maraschino, and like with like a wink kind of.
And she goes,
the cherry, like the cherry. Didn't get it. Now I get it because I'm older, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I understand. But yeah, I like her. She's cool. What about T-Birds? I mean, obviously Danny, so maybe minus Danny.
Oh man, I guess, and like, I mean, I don't love Kinnicky. I think he's like the hottest mess, and I just would like. I know some girls who would like love Kinnicky, but I would never like Kinnicky. He's just a mess. Yeah. So then of the three Stooges.
Yes.
Well, I can't pick Sonny because I just hate him so much.
I'm still angry he took Sandy away at the dance. Like I just don't understand.
He's not funny. He's just gonna be by himself his whole life. I feel bad for Sonny, but it's not good. So then I'm with like the albino kid who looks like he's 12, or
the one I forget,
Duty. Oh God, I guess Duty.
Wow.
I know.
I went Putsy. I think he's charming in that like naive
really
way.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's really sweet. And him and Jan are like sweet little sweeties.
Yeah.
I love Jan though.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to like take away
not
from
to discount.
Jan.
I like
or
them
Frenchie.
all. Right.
Frenchie
I
is
like
so
all of them.
sweet. Oh my God, Frenchie is so nice. She's like Miss Congeniality. She's nice to everybody and is like that friend who just like helps out everybody.
But she does partake in the Sandra Dee song, which kind of makes me sad.
Yeah. Well, that was just like their little thing. And then Jan is like hilarious, and she just is like, sort of seems like a little bit, because she's the non-glamorous one. But I think she's hilarious.
She eats all the time.
And that brush part.
Yeah.
That was one thing I always remember when I was little. I think it was like an old toothpaste commercial.
Yeah,
It's like a little beaver. Yeah.
Ipana, which is not around anymore.
What is it called?
Ipana.
Ipana. Brusha. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Jan.
Cool. So for favorite parts, I put down, which we kind of already talked about, but like the Danny tries sports scene, which is just very funny. So the first one he tries is basketball, and it's just the way that Danny like does things, like the way he dribbles the ball is like in his T-bird like stance, like super erect and like jerky, but stiff. I can't explain it. It's just it's amazing. It's amazing. So that doesn't work out because he like punches the guy holding the basketball to like get it. So then they try wrestling, and I think that one he just gives up right away because did they not have weight classes back then? I don't know. They pair him with this like gigantic guy. So after that guy pins him, then he's like, all right, I give, and then he like punches him when he's not looking and then runs away. And then baseball, same thing, like walks up to the plate with like the funny stance, like he's like swinging the bat, like all funny.
He does hit the ball.
He hits the ball, but then the ump's like foul ball, and then he gets pissed and like snaps his mask back and hits him. So then they do a track, and the track one is the funniest.
Oh wait,
one.
I feel like did you miss one? No.
And then the track one, Sandy's like busy talking to Tom, and then Danny like looks at her as he's going by,
and he's wearing this like my favorite like sport outfit, which is like the early sweatsuits, which are just like a gray sweatshirt and sweatpants. And it just, I think that it looks so cozy. I'm kind of like jealous.
I wouldn't want to run and jump hurdles in it though.
Too hot.
So Danny's doing hurdles, And he's looking at Sandy. He's like, run, look at Sandy. And he like runs and then jumps a hurdle and then like looks at her to see if she was watching and then does it again. And then he trips over the last one and goes like fly. It's great. I love, we've said this before.
Donnie.
But we really love when people trip. It's always a comedic goldmine for us.
What's really good about that sports scene too is, as we said, Sid Caesar is the gym teacher, and he's like the super old classic comedian. I think he died just a couple of years ago. Man, he's so funny in that. And he's straight man in this. Like, he's not funny, but he's fucking funny. Oh man, I love him in that. And he's kind of funny he's funny looking. Yeah. Like he's tall and like really skinny. And good old Sid.
Totes.
Sid
my
sees.
other favorite scene for some reason, and I don't know why this is, but it's the Frosty Palace diner scene when Danny and Sandy are like on a date.
Maybe you just like diners.
I do, because everyone's always dancing and having so much fun. But I love this one because they order all this food and it just like all looks really good. Maybe just the milkshakes. The burgers don't look great.
We're almost up for our milkshake.
Oh yes,
we made a deal a couple of years ago that we would have like one milkshake a year because it's just like a very caloric and intense experience.
It is, but at the same time, it's like.
And where do you slot them in?
Is
it a meal? Is it a post meal?
No, we usually get one, and when we're out and about, maybe after a manicure, I don't know, just throwing it out.
Skipping lunch, and you're like, I need a fucking milkshake.
It's 3 scoops of ice cream and milk, so
like
it's not
2 cups of milk.
Yeah, so it's a lot because normally I wouldn't be able to eat 3 scoops of ice cream like on a cone. But liquid, you just suck it right up, and you're like, that was great. Give me another one.
Right. We used to work at the ice cream store, and we were like, wow, this is a lot of ice cream that goes in here.
So in the 50s, people were getting shakes like on the regs, and nobody was fat. Like, what is up with that? God. Shenanigans. That's what. I don't
all the
believe
chemicals in our
food. But I love that scene because Danny's like, the waitress is like, what do you want? And Danny's like, oh, I'm not very hungry. Give me a double like Eskimo burger, cherry shake, and chocolate ice cream.
What's a cherry shake?
Cherry ice cream with chocolate ice.
No, because remember,
a true milkshake is milk and syrup only, not ice cream.
So it wouldn't have been that filling because it would just been flavored milk. We're thinking fraps.
There we go. That's why they weren't all fat.
Oh yeah. So there's this huge to do when we worked in the ice cream shop that we worked at for like 10 years on the Cape. So it was like we get a lot of people from New York, and they call like milkshakes.
Well, no. I mean, everyone calls milkshakes, but
some people thought a milkshake was ice cream and milk. But technically, a milkshake is milk and syrup.
But if they asked for a milkshake, we made a frap.
A frap, yeah.
Which is a frap.
A frap
is ice cream, milk, and syrup.
Right.
And then traditionally, a milkshake is actually just syrup and milk, which is gross.
What was an egg cream? Do you remember that one?
The egg cream was a little bit of ice cream, syrup.
It was like soda,
a sliver
water.
of ice cream, syrup, soda.
Yep.
And then this ice cream on the side.
Yeah. And it was half and half. It was like half and half soda, syrup, and then if they wanted a little ice cream on the side, but not necessarily. Yeah.
It was a confusing thing.
And like a float, obviously like soda ice cream on the side. But yeah, so that might make sense. Wow, tangent. Who's ready for ice cream?
Woo! But yeah, I love that. And then Rizzo throws her shake on.
But diners are like so. I mean, they make you want to eat immediately.
I know.
They're just so cozy. And like now I feel like I only ever go to diners for breakfast. Like breakfast is such a big diner experience now. So that's like when I get the diner experience. But like a burger, I mean, a burger and milkshake would be like a lot for me right now. I don't know if I would ever get that. That just seems like a lot of food.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's like way too much for me.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Do you have any other favorite parts?
Well, I mean, obviously the sleepover scene. Like I fucking love that to pieces. And the dance. I mean, the dance scene is the best.
I always forget that the dance scene is not at the end. It's like the thing that sets everything else into motion. But it's such a big deal.
And it comes on so quick because, well, like at first there's like one tiny scene before where like everyone is kind of, Rizzo and Kaneki broke up right before Marty didn't have a date. So Marty and Rizzo are in the parking lot and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe there's this big thing going on in school and like we don't have dates. And then like the like crater face guy from the Scorpions comes and like they go with him. So that's how Rizzo ends up going with him to the dance. And then Kaneki must get wind of it and then invite his girlfriend, like who knows what happened there. Weird, yeah. So then all of a sudden the dance is happening there, and like it just starts all of a, like after that scene, and it's just people like going into the gym in their pretty outfits. So everyone has these like great dresses, so cute. And it does start off kind of slow because just like slowly like warming up and whatever. But once they get to like really dancing, I just love it.
It's great.
I just love
That's
big dance scenes like that, and I like turned to Sweetie. I think it was at that last scene though with the we go together part, I think. Yeah. Where like there's obviously like, I don't know, 20 dancers that were like just dancers on this movie, and how fun that would be. And that like Grease is like a huge classic movie, right? And you could be like, I was a dancer in Grease, and this was 78, so that's people's parents now. So you could like sit down and be like, there's mom, like shaking it and doing all these like fun, and it's like that 50s dancing is so fun. And I do love the dancing scene. It's fabulous.
Totes. So let's see. So I guess quickly run through. Like we said, the whole movie is sweetie confusion. Basically, I had no idea what any of the sexual jokes meant. But here are some ones that stuck out to me. So Putsy is like the little naive one who's like obviously a virgin still and doesn't know anything. And he's like, someone says something about 15, like makes a joke about 15 minute, like sex being 15 minutes. And Putsy goes, 15 minutes? Is that all it takes? I don't know why. I just like didn't get the concept. I was like, why is there a number? Like, is it like timed? Like you have sex and you're like, you're setting the timer and then we go. But then like, as I got older, it got doubly confusing because I was like, 15 minutes? I was like, that is too long. Aww. Right? What's a normal, I'm like to get in and out.
15 is too short. 20 to 25 maybe.
Yeah, but you're counting, but I'm talking like actual like P&V action.
Well, don't talk to me. I had like a crazy experience with that in my last relationship.
No,
too long.
It doesn't count. That's why it's like it's like okay.
Yeah.
So I just got confused about it.
I agree.
Both as a youngster,
for 15 minutes
today.
Of that.
Yeah, I'm like 15 minutes is fine, but like I'm more
Not
like in the
including
7-minute club. I don't know. And then. What was the other thing? Oh, like, yeah. So the Like and Cherry thing at the end of the movie and the Thunder Alley part. I keep wanting to call him Scarface. Craterface says, "Yeah, well, we're racing for pink slips. Or no, we're racing for pinks."
Oh, okay.
Is what he initially says. And so I always thought he meant they were racing for like ownership of the pink ladies, which is like a whole other scary thing of like, ugh. Traded women. But then he says pink slips.
I still thought that when we watched it tonight, and I was like, before they explained it, I was like, that's horrible.
Yeah, it really is.
They're not even dating.
And I wouldn't put it past him because he seems like a terrible person. But I guess he meant ownership papers for the cars. And then I already said this one, but the Like and Cherry that Marty says to Vince Fontaine. Didn't get that. All right. So... do you have any sweetie confusion you want to talk about before we get into the quiz about what the lyrics are and what you thought?
No, I think that was like most of mine too. So like, luckily we had the same ones.
Cool.
We're equally confused.
All right. So we already talked about the summer nights. He swam by me, got my Suli. Not the right.
Got my suit damp. I can see how that would be. Got my Suli. Not really, but. Well, like I said, these songs are like pretty dumb in the sense that like it's a straight up rhyme.
It's very confusing. Okay, and then the other one. So this whole song actually I have a hard time with, and the other part I was confused about is at the end.
Okay, let's talk through all of the lyrics of this song because it's a story.
We're doing all the lyrics.
Oh, just Summer
11. Take too much time.
No,
I know. Well, I just want to. I mean, most of them are pretty straight. I think I know most of them.
Okay, Summer 11. I
mean, do you have any that you are confused at?
So fast. I met a girl crazy for me. I met a boy. Tell me more.
Okay.
Did you get very far?
So this one, the next one that I was confused
about.
Yeah,
just the Sandy Danny parts I think are the worst.
So he got friendly, holding my hand. She got friendly down in the sand. Now the next one is Sandy's. He was sweet. What do you think it is? Just.
Wait. He was sweet. Just like the beach. I don't remember.
It goes more like, she got friendly now and saying, he was sweet, just something like that. So I thought it was, so the line is, he was sweet, just turned 18.
Just turned. I did know that one.
Okay.
Sorry.
I always thought it was
He
like,
was sweet,
he was
just
sweet.
turned 18.
Yeah. Okay. The turn part is like non-existent
No.
in that line.
Yep.
And so I always thought it was like, he was sweet, just a teen dream.
That's good though. That would be perfect.
Yeah, it's better than Suli. So, okay, so that's the last one I had for summer nights. Do you have another one off the top of your head that you don't catch? The next one I have is Greased Lightning.
Yeah,
but okay.
There's a lot in that one.
All right. So, Greased Lightning. The ones I don't know are kind of towards the end, so we'll start at the beginning to see if there's any. Okay, so the beginning of the song is a lot of car talk. It's a lot of things I don't know. So obviously I don't know the words to things that are like, we'll get some overhead lifters and some four-barrel quads.
What's the beginning? That's like
This car.
We'll get oh, that's what you're saying.
Yes. A fuel injection cutoff and chrome-plated rods. Oh, yeah. I'll get the money. I'll kill to get the money.
I can't even believe that fits.
I know.
Wait, so look at some overhead lifters and some four-barrel quad. Ahead of it.
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
talking, we'll keep talking. A fuel injection cut off and chrome-plated rods, oh yeah.
Get the money. I'll kill to get the money.
With a 4-speed on the floor, they'll be waiting on the door. You know that ain't no shit. We'll be getting lots of tit and grease lightning.
So I had no idea that was the actual line, because for the most
They
part,
cut
we
that
heard this song either on the radio or in the Grease Mega Mix or at a school dance, in which they did not have that line in it. So you know that ain't no shit. We'll be getting lots of tit in Greased Lightning.
Whoa. They're
Whoa.
obsessed with the tit.
They're so obsessed with
Again,
it.
what was that? But one of the episodes, I was like, why are boys so obsessed with boobs? Get over them. Oh, milk money.
Yeah.
I was like, it's no big deal. It was a
Um,
big deal back then because they weren't getting anything else.
And then the other stuff is it's also like car stuff. The chicks will cream part you already talked about. We'll get some purple French taillights and 30-inch fins. Oh, yeah. A Palomino dashboard and dual muffler twins. Oh, yeah.
With new pistols, plugs, and shocks,
I can get off my rocks.
You know that I ain't
Bragging she's a real pussy wagon. Grease lightning.
line.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know any of those lyrics.
I know. Yeah. Is there another song that we would be confused about? No, probably not. You're the one that I want? Oh, yeah. You're the one that I want. Because we didn't know what she was.
Oh, yeah.
Let's look that one up. You're the one that I want. Honey. You're the one that I want. Lyrics. Oh, I put lyrics. Oh, good. It still came up. Okay. Thank you, Google. I've got chills multiplying and I'm losing control because the power you're supplying is electrifying. All right. If you're feeling some affection that's too hard to convey, meditated. No, meditated. What did you say?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said tainted.
Meditated
Meditated by direction.
by direction.
Okay.
Feel your way. No?
So it's actually, baby, feel your weight.
What? Give me that.
What does that mean?
If you're feeling some affection that's too hard to convey, meditated by direction, baby, feel your way. Yeah, I don't know. Some of these do
Why
not
would you
seem to
feel your
fit
weight?
into like the time you have to sing that lyric. So I don't know. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just like syncopation, but
Yeah, it's weird.
Eh.
Weird. Anyways.
Yeah, tough. I've never been so like stumped by lyrics before.
I know. When you're put on the spot like that, it's tough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Name that tune.
Name that tune.
But we did pretty good. I mean,
yeah.
I haven't seen this movie in a couple years.
So the question I feel like you always ask this, but I'll ask it this time. Do you think they make it, Sandy and Danny?
No.
Definitely not. Although in the 50s, I mean, it's not like people went off to college and then forgot about each other.
Yeah.
Like, they probably hung around, maybe, and then...
I don't know. I feel like Sandy was going places. Danny's like a dead end. I mean, he did have like gumption, I guess, and was like, you know,
I just want to
willing
know, like,
other than the other T-birds who I
Yeah.
think were kind of like, oh my god, we failed gym. Like, who fails gym, assholes?
by not showing up. Oh my god, I keep having nightmares where I'm back. Do you ever have those high school dreams where you're like back in high school and
Yes,
you're like,
all
oh fuck,
the
I forgot to go to
time.
math class the entire semester.
yes.
So I keep having those, but with gym, where I keep like skipping it and being like, I don't want to go to gym, and then I keep being like, I can't graduate because
Why
I
am
failed
all
gym.
in high school.
I know.
I had one where I didn't know my schedule.
Yes,
and then,
always.
And then, but like I legit would wake up and be like, oh my god, I never went to this class and I never turned in all of these papers, and it's the end of the year. And like
yeah.
for a minute, as like this is when I've awoken that like I think like it's over. Like I'm gonna fail and my life is over.
Nothing, got nothing. I know
isn't
those are the
that
worst.
weird? Why is it
It's
high
like-
school though? It's not even college. I think mine are all
I think
high
because
school.
like that was the last time you had those kinds of anxieties about
in
like
college you
not
did?
no, because college was like here. Like who cares about your college? Like nobody's like, you can only get this job if you got a B in
Yeah,
English
you're right.
101
because it
or
was
higher.
about like all that high school
about getting a
performance to get
degree,
to,
like-
to get into a college.
Right. So high school
It was
had
so dependent on
certain
that.
anxieties like that to it.
Right.
And it was the first time. I mean, you didn't really experience those kinds of things in middle school or elementary school, and high school really kind of like puts the pressure on. So I'm assuming that's why. But just a chat.
Agreed. I had one just the other night.
Whoa. Well, I either have those dreams or the ones where we're back at the ice cream store, and everything has changed. They are suddenly selling like burgers and salads, and I don't know how to make them. And it's very stressful. And I'm just like, I used to be up here, and now I'm way at the bottom and don't know what I'm doing. And it's always a bad dream. So yeah.
What would you think it would be like to move, like Sandy did, to a school from Australia to like
In
California?
a totally different country? It'd be fucking
know.
scary.
I
Like,
know.
She handles it really well.
She
She
does.
just like marches right up to
Sandy's
the
a
office.
rock.
Is like, hi, I'm new here, and she has to fill out forms, which I feel like your parents should be doing. Like, why is she filling out forms?
She's awesome.
She's great, and again, I don't know how she met Frenchie, but thank God she did.
Yeah. She made friends. She got a boyfriend, like 2 boyfriends within like a
She
couple
did.
months.
She would, because she's very pretty. I also would like to point out that I love her use of yellow. She wears yellow very well.
Even
and
though she's a blonde.
Yeah, and I think it's an underutilized color for wardrobe, and I appreciate that she tries.
No,
and it looks great.
And I always loved those like off the shoulder. They would just like button one button on the cardigan and just like wear it basically as like a shoulder.
It's very sweet. Yeah.
shoulder cover. It wouldn't be like a full up like
Do
cardigan.
you have a specific favorite outfit?
Okay. So I have a couple. Obviously, I like loved the end Sandy one. I did love those candy shoes. I might have had a pair, I forget. But also one Halloween, I dressed in all black with like an off the shoulder shirt, and I had these black tight pants, and I tied a little red scarf, like sideways scarf, around my neck to be Sandy, and I poofed my hair out.
She didn't have a sideways scarf on.
I know, but I just like added that for flavor, and I never felt so hot in my life. It was amazing. And then I love the Rizzo black and white polka dot, like
Black and red.
black and red polka dot tight dress. Her boobs look so good in it. And everyone else has those kind of 50s like big skirted dress. If you remember like Back to the Future where like Lorraine and like that whole Chapman Under the Sea dance. They all have that sort of like look of a almost like corsety top, but like a full skirt, and they're long skirts. But Rizzo's is tight, almost like a, what is that style? Like I think it's actually like a tulip style because it has like a little, or mermaid where it has like a little skirt on the bottom, but it's like tight all around. Awesome. Love, love, love. I kind of like Frenchie's too in that dance.
I love
that
her
little yellow
shoe.
one.
Yeah. See, a yellow again.
Yeah, it
see,
looks so
and she has
good.
great shoes in that scene also.
Yep, and I love Marty's, as you said. That like that green looks so good on her, like with her coloring. Amazing. I mean, just in general, the Pink Lady stuff. Rizzo has some like awesome clothes. I kind of love her style because she does pants and mostly like pencil skirts. Well, they all kind of do mostly skirts, I guess, like skirts and tops. But anyway, that's the style.
That's the fashion, sweetie fashion.
Style.
Anything else?
I don't think so. I just and just for the record, so there's the scene where Kaneki is like getting ready to go at Thunder Road, and Jan spies a penny on the ground and goes, find a penny, pick it up. All day long, you'll have good luck. And she gets like really excited about it. So she gives it to Marty to give to Kaneki for good luck. Whenever I see a penny, I recite that in my head.
Well, isn't that like a...
But I don't pick it up.
That's like a saying that was before this movie? Okay.
But I just like hear
it?
Jan's
Yeah.
song. Like
The way she says it.
Yep. Find a penny, pick it up.
Yeah.
For all day long, have good luck.
I ain't picking up no dirty pennies.
Yeah. I don't. Sometimes I really have to like force myself not to pick up the penny.
Oh, really? I have no interest whatsoever.
I'm like, maybe I should pick this
like,
up.
no, I'm not picking up your dirty penny. Yeah. No, what I think of
Also,
is like...
pennies are useless.
Well, that's what I say. I throw away pennies.
Me too.
And I feel a little sad about it in my heart, but then not really. Because I'm like, these are just going to end up on the ground somewhere.
I'm just sad that like the poor plant who produces those, the mint, are like, oh God,
It's
here
time to
goes
get
some more
it's time
pennies.
to retire it. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know, guys.
they were trying to get rid of it. They don't think we need it anymore. Which is
Good. Lincoln already is on the 5, so he'll be fine.
He'll be fine.
I would just like to say a few words about Grease 2, which I'm sure we will cover at some point. But my friends and I were obsessed with that movie, definitely more so than Grease. It was just like a thing that we loved.
When did that one come out?
80 something.
Yeah.
But the pink ladies have like shiny pink jackets in that. Michelle Pfeiffer's in it. There's amazing songs in it, including Reproduction. Oh, so good. Girl for All Seasons, which is like the calendar song at the talent show. Amazing. Cool Rider.
He's a cool rider.
Oh, so good. And the one that I always forget that's like, let's do it for our country, which is the
red,
weirdest,
red, and the blue.
like weirdest fucking scene. They're like in a bunker and they're pretending to be like a soldier and a nurse. I don't get it.
Well,
and
he's
and
trying
they're
to get her
trapped
to
down there,
to
and then they
sleep
have
with
to have
her.
sex. But why is there a
Yes.
bunker? I just want to know.
Because
I
it was
forget.
Cold War and people had bunkers, so that was all over the place.
No, but it didn't take place in the 80s. That one took place a couple years, like in the 60s.
Yeah.
Cold War was the 80s.
No, Cold War was from after World War II to 89 till the Berlin Wall fell.
Oh, that's messed up.
No. Blast from the Past, that was in the 60s. Remember that? Where Brendan Fraser grows up in the bunker?
I guess. Well, anyways, good
Oh, wow.
good but bad movie.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to cover it. To laugh at it.
Woo!
But yeah, so that is Grease. Good times. I do feel like I like it, but sometimes I'm like, just because some of the
classic.
songs. I know.
like some of
I
the
know, but like
songs?
hello, oh Sandy, like that part always just drags for me, and it like takes me a little while to get like out of that hump.
I think
And once I do, I'm fine, but like I just wish they had cut out all that
it just makes me
bullshit.
smile so much, and like and we didn't really talk about John Travolta, but like, oh my God, fucking love him. He's adorable. This is a perfect role for him. Like I said, he came off of Saturday Night Fever to do this movie, and he was still on Welcome Back, Kotter, I think, too. So like, I was like, oh my God, doing like so much shit. And this kind of became his like a little bit of a typecast for him, right? But he's so good in this, and he's so adorable, and he's such a good dancer. I mean, singing like, like take or leave the sing. But God, I love the dancing.
Oh, I love that
and,
part where they're dancing at the dance,
Yeah.
and he's singing. He's like,
You should be
what's
take
the
singing
song?
lessons.
Like, anyway. And then he goes like really high.
Calling your name, the melody.
Do you still think that, Sandy?
Yeah. But and like we haven't covered Look Who's Talking 2 yet, but there's this amazing dance scene in that to the Elvis song. For me, John Travolta is just like such a fun dancer. I just like love watching him dance. He has like such charisma when he does it.
Loves to do those like crazy leg things. Like his legs just go out.
I
like,
just love it. So I think he's really perfect and he's adorable. I thought they made an adorable couple. I thought they were just so cute together. I love the last scene. Like I just really believe that they like really liked each other, which is important in a lead couple. And I think all the actors were so good. I mean, Stockard Channing, you cannot get better than Stockard Channing. That woman is fucking kills everything she's in. She's a scene stealer to the max. Even the 2 seconds she's in First Wives Club, you're like, where is Stockard Channing? I think she's our only alumni in this, right?
John Travolta.
And John Travolta, sorry. Duh.
I can't even think like. I mean, are there any other like great roles that she was in that you can think of? Stockard Channing? Not really.
She is the first lady in The West Wing is fucking amazing.
Okay. But movies? No.
I really know her from this.
Yeah, that's I think most people
Yeah.
probably. But yeah. But she's still great. We still love her.
I will probably like be introduced to her as I'm continuing to watch movies and movies that she has been in that I don't know, because I just think she's a talent and I support
Let's
her.
hope so. Yeah. Cool. Okay, then. I guess that is it. Woo! Thank you, as always, for listening to us and our singing.
We're hopelessly devoted to you. Ooh.
Please do us a solid. Follow us on Twitter at The Sweetie Club and on Instagram at Large Marge Sent Us. Also, if you want to be really awesome, you could leave us the review on iTunes. We seem to have not received a new review in like
Bastards.
weeks. So that would be swell. Thank you. And just keep on being awesome. We love you. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.